The three promoted sides have started very well this season, but with two of them still in the bottom five, it is very likely that at least one, even two, if Sunderland implode, could be three of those clubs still get relegated to the Championship at the end of the season. So I thought, why not simulate this, but with a little bit of a twist? We're going to put the three elite managers of the top three clubs into those bottom three. We're going to have Arne Slot, Pep Guardiola and Mikel Arteta managing the three promoted sides. 3 Premier League jobs have been vacated. The Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City jobs are all open. When's that ever happened? Probably never, because all 3 of those managers have decided to take on an unenviable task, and that's to try and keep one of the promoted sides up. That's not happened in the last couple of years. Sunderland in particular have had a really good start to this Premier League season, haven't they? So let's see how our top 3 do. We have, at Burnley, Mikel Arteta. We've kept the current managers in real life there as assistant managers. That's mostly out of laziness for my part. So we have Scott Parker in as an assistant manager. I wonder if they'll keep those guys in, or whether they might part ways with them and bring their own team in. At Leeds, we have Pep Guardiola. And then at Sunderland, we have Arne Slot. Straight off the bounce of winning the Premier League title, Arne Slot is with the 1,000-to-1 shots to stay in the Premier League. I'd be interested if this is influenced by the managers at all. The fact that, again, these clubs are still, by quite some way, the favourites to go down, noting that Pep Guardiola is the most reputable manager in the Premier League. Mikel Glasner, got that completely mixed up. Mikel Arteta is next. Interestingly, according to this, if this is listed in reputation, Oliver Glasner has a higher reputation than Arne Slot. Not quite sure how to read that. I don't think it is, because you've got continental and national managers, so I think Arne Slot... No, I think that is sort of correct. I think that Oliver Glasner has... Maybe we should have put Oliver Glasner at Sunderland, but... That's not really any of the fun, is it? Let's put the top 3 managers in and see what happens. I've done this all through the FM editor, which you can get for absolutely free if you have a copy of FM26. Plenty of guides on the net of how to do this. What we're going to do first off, we're going to go to the end of August. See who's took the big 3 jobs in the league. See how our clubs have started. And if they've made any transfers possibly as well. Burnley have had a masterclass against Man United at Old Trafford. They've won 2-1 there. Notts Forest are top of the league after 3 games. That gives Sean Dyche the manager of the month. Burnley look like they've won 2 out of 3. First off, let's have a look at the manager movement, shall we? Only one incoming manager. Oliver Glasner was offered a new job. So he's gone somewhere. Oliver Glasner has gone to Arsenal. So Oliver Glasner is the new Arsenal manager. We said he was the most reputable manager in the league, barring the top 3. And poor Big Ange has got his 3rd job of the season at Palace. Let's see how Ange gets on at Palace. Didn't do very well at Forest, did he? But he's got the Palace job. So that tells me none of the other Premier League managers have gone for these other 2 jobs. So let's see. So the new Liverpool manager is Julian Nagelsmann. He's come from Germany. Now, is he still the Germany manager? There's no manager, so Nagelsmann has left the German national team to go and manage Liverpool. That's interesting. And then Man City have... Where are Man City? They've started decently, actually. 6 points from 3. They have appointed Luis Enrique from PSG. So all pretty good managerial choices. 2 of them really world-class. Oliver Glasner in the game is really good. We'll keep an eye on Oliver Glasner at Arsenal, see if he can make the step up. But Burnley have started particularly well. 6 points from their first 3 games. Now, unfortunately, there is a glitch that we can't seem to see the fixture schedule. But they have won 2 games in the Premier League. That's a very good start for them. Mikel Arteta, known for his good defence. The webcam's slightly in the way. So they've conceded 2 in their 3 games so far. Leeds have won 1, lost 2. Whereas Sunderland won 1, drawn 1, lost 1. So a decent start for our promoted clubs, really. We saw that Burnley had beaten Manchester United. Let's look at Burnley first, because they are the highest in the league. Any transfers that they've bought in? I'm not particularly familiar with Burnley, so I'm not sure whether these are real-life transfers. Maybe Martin Dubravka was one, but I don't actually think any of these are real-life transfers. I feel like these have probably happened in the game naturally, rather than Mikel bringing them in, but I could be wrong. There. So, got a couple of players coming in. Mikel Arteta is playing. Let's see, can we get a tactics board? Again, if we go to that Manchester United game, let's see how they were set up, Burnley. You can see that this is still a bit of something I'm getting used to. Look at this masterclass from Burnley at Old Trafford. 60% possession. Wow. 60% against Man United. They have started woefully, haven't they? What about our other two clubs in their latest Premier League matches? Have they... I mean, Leeds beat Newcastle. That's a big result for them. 2-1 at home. That's a big result for them. What about Sunderland this weekend? They drew with Brentford. So they've all had a pretty good start, haven't they? They've all got at least one win on the board, haven't they? Yeah, they've all got one win from their first 3 games. Bournemouth 3 defeats from 3. Big Ange 3 defeats from 3. Arsenal have started well with Glasner. All the 3 clubs that have departed with their managers have started pretty well. But Burnley by far the best so far. So we're going to simulate probably again a couple of months. Get to about the middle of November, which is where we are now in real life. And see if that good form continues for our promoted sides. Well, we have the first casualty in the Premier League. Iraola has been sacked by Bournemouth, so they've had an absolute mare of a start. Wolves are in 5th. Wolves 5th? Are we sure? Wolves 5th after 10 matches. Well, no problem with our 3 clubs at the top. They haven't had any sort of come down after they've lost their managers. It's looking not too dissimilar to real life, is it? I mean, Liverpool will gloss over the fact Liverpool have only lost 2. Crystal Palace. Oh, Big Ange. I mean, he's still there. But Big Ange, it's not going very well for you, is it, mate? Burnley haven't done very well either. They've completely... I wouldn't say capitulated, that's probably harsh. But Burnley, after getting 6 points from their first 3, have only picked up 3 points from the last 8. Oh dear, that has followed with a draw against West Ham. But yeah, 8 games without a win for Burnley. So that is a little bit of a concern for them. Leeds are behind them, so they're only on 8 points. They've just picked up a win. Sunderland on 12 points. They've lost their last 4. So the honeymoon period really seems to have gone adrift now, doesn't it, for these clubs? I mean, Forest have done pretty well, actually, haven't they, still? Wolves are the amazing ones. 20 points from 10 games. Obviously, they're nowhere near that in real life. Sunderland have had a decent start, but the fairy tale's really starting to unravel for Burnley and Leeds. 8 points and 9 points. Palace are like the Wolves of the game. They've been cut adrift. Man United struggling really badly. But it's a little bit like real life, that 1 win for Sunderland and the mid-table, 1 win for Burnley and they go up to match Sunderland. They're all conceding a fair amount of goals. Burnley nearly 2 goals a match. Leeds keeping it tightish at the back, I guess, 15, but they're all having a bit of difficulty with scoring goals. I mean, Palace are real outliers. They are really missing Oliver Glasner, and surely I would suggest that Big Ange is under pressure there. Bournemouth just outside the bottom 3, so they have sacked Andone Iraola. Do one of our managers jump ship to go there? I can't see it. Can't see it personally, but still early-ish days. None of them have been cut adrift yet. Sunderland are worrying though. 4 defeats on the bounce. No winning 5 for Burnley. 1 winning 5 for Leeds. It's not what these managers have come to expect. Well, I was going to go a bit further forward than this, but we could have our first casualty of these 3 managers. El Sakiko looms for Andrews and Arteta. So, are Brentford now down there? Let's have a look. Brentford are just above Burnley. We've only played 1 more game, actually, since you were last with me. But it looks like Sunderland won that one, so that's massively helped them. That's their first win in quite some time. So that's put them mid-table, so that's good for them. Again, only 5 points off 6th. God, this league is so close. Burnley and Leeds are down there. Brentford, 17th, just above. So this is a bit of a must-win game for Burnley. Under pressure is Mikel Arteta. Let's see who Bournemouth have replaced Iraola with. Graham Potter. Honestly, it's like the merry-go-round at the bottom of the Premiership. Unbelievable. Are we up? Yeah, Saturday 3 o'clock. So, I mean, what a contrast. Arsenal, top of the league. Oliver Glasner has had a brilliant start. Only lost 1 game. Only conceded 7. City have only conceded 3. 3 goals all season. That is unbelievable. Sunderland have been the most competitive, though. A goal difference of -3. That's not too bad. Oliver Glasner. Arne Slot keeping it relatively tight-ish at the back. Interesting start. We'll have to see how Mikel Arteta gets on then. We've skipped forward a little while to just before Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. 2 Premier League jobs open. None of ours. So, is Mikel still there? Sunderland have dropped below Burnley. Wow. Oh, Sunderland. 5 defeats in a row now. 5 in a row. and all of a sudden the start that they'd made, it is difficult. I mean, they've played Brighton away from home, Newcastle at home. It's not easy, is it? It's not easy in this league whatsoever. One of the leakiest defences in the Premier League, 26 goals in 17 matches. Will it allow us? No, it won't allow us to load the fixture schedule for some odd reason. But we won't let that take away from this experiment. So in the Premier League, only one of our clubs is in the bottom 3, but Sunderland are in some really bad form. Leeds, 2 wins out of 5. Burnley, 2 wins out of 5. Sunderland, absolutely nothing. Brentford have lost their manager, Keith Andrews. Ruben Amorim as well has lost his job. Not really a surprise. And oh no. Oh no, Ange. Ange has had the sack again. Oh, big Ange. Gareth Southgate's now the Palace manager. God preserve us. Darren Fletcher's got the Man United job. Is that just on an interim basis? Yeah, he's just the caretaker. Jack Lester at Brentford. So yeah, a couple of caretaker managers. But Gareth Southgate at Palace. Christ on a bike. Oh dear. It's close though, isn't it? Really close. Still close down there. Look, I mean, Man United are in trouble. Sunderland, though, 5 defeats in a row. Things really need to start improving for them. What are the games coming up for Sunderland? Can they pick up some points? As a Liverpool fan, I'm a bit biased. I'd love to see Sunderland do well. Sunderland have got Leeds in the next match. Burnley have got Everton. So Everton are doing okay-ish. What's the next run of games looking like after that? Burnley, Newcastle, Sunderland, Man City. So the big one really is it Sunderland Leeds I've just said? I think it is. Yeah, Sunderland Leeds is up next. That's a massive 3-pointer, that is, for both sides. To see if they can crawl out and possibly put Burnley back under pressure. Well, at the weekend we saw Arne Slot take on Pep Guardiola. And Pep won that battle. But in this game, it was a draw. And nobody wants a draw down there. It says Leeds were lucky to draw. So might have parked the bus a little bit, possibly. One apiece. That doesn't help anybody when you're down there. Brentford won their game against Bournemouth. Slot wants to attack from the off, apparently, so one apiece. A little bit of a disappointment, you have to say. Not going great still, is it? We've only gone 1 game ahead, so nothing has changed. Burnley, how did Burnley get on in their game? I didn't quite see how Burnley got on. Burnley lost to Everton, okay. But I know Brentford beat Bournemouth, that's a disappointment. So all of a sudden, our sides, it was very much sort of 3 from 8, wasn't it? Now we get to the point, I mean, Wolves are in abysmal form. Just as well they started the season off well. Look at their form now. 1 point in the last 5 games. Sunderland, Burnley and Leeds again. If it wasn't for Palace being tragic under Big Ange, this would be your bottom 3. I mean, Man United surely have got to get out of it. Brentford have got a new manager. New manager bounce, possibly. The Villa manager is under pressure, Unai Emery. Wolves are completely capitulating, but again, these sides are all 2 wins away from that. Should we get to the end of January? Well, I was going to stop right at the end of January. I've stopped just before. There's a job opening at Burnley. So if they're sacked him, well, they're outside the bottom 3. In fact, 2 of our clubs are outside the bottom 3, and Brentford haven't really had that new manager bounce. Sunderland have drawn 4 in a row. Palace are coming back into it. Burnley have just crept outside, noting they've played a game more. They might have played Palace, I would guess they've played Palace, because both have played a game more. 2 apiece. 2 penalties for Palace, in fact 1 for Burnley as well. So Burnley are outside the relegation zone. Have they sacked him? Mikel Arteta. Oh, Mikel, you've been offered a new job and you've took it, so where's he gone? Oh, he's gone to the Villa. Oh, Mikel, you've spoilt it. You've spoilt this. So Mikel Arteta's jumped ship and gone to the Villa. Which I could see that. I could see that happening. Oh, that's spoiled our experiment a little bit, hasn't it? That's a shame. But Burnley will still keep a track on Burnley. They are the best club at the moment. So Mikel Arteta effectively wins the award at the moment for best manager of the season. Sunderland and Leeds are still in there. Let's have a look at the top of the league. Arsenal look very good. They've had a bit of a blip. They've lost 2 of their last 5. So Man City and Liverpool have started to get a bit closer. West Ham doing well under Nuno. Palace recovering a little bit under Gareth Southgate. Sunderland in particular finding it very difficult to win games. They've drawn 8. Now, Leeds have only drawn 3, but they've won more games, and that's put them where they are. Sunderland don't lose games that often. They are lacking a bit up front. The other two, well, Burnley have only scored one more actually. It's going to be difficult. None of them have been cut adrift yet, so there's still time to do something. Any notable transfers in this transfer window? I mean, only 15 done deals, so nothing massive. Let's have a look. Have our clubs spent any money? Leeds have not, so Pep's not. Burnley haven't. Sunderland haven't either, according to this. But that's interesting. I'm sure it did say one player's moved. So he's gone to Sunderland. Did he maybe join in the summer then? Yeah, he must have joined in the summer, I think. Yeah, he's played 23 games. So no incomings for our promoted team. So they're not trying to support them by doing something. I mean, Ederson's gone to City. That's not the Ederson. I was about to say, surely he's not gone back after leaving 6 months beforehand. But no incomings. I'd be a bit disappointed at that. Nico Williams has gone to Brighton for 320k. Well, he's been robbed. So, of Brighton, I'm guessing Brighton have maybe had him on loan for 6 months and only paid that amount. Surely he's worth more than 300k. Yeah, right. He's gone on loan there. Panic over. I say, Sean Dyche had his pants pulled down if that's the case. Let's go a bit further on. Let's see who's going to get the Burnley job. Looks like Wolves have given up with their manager. Yeah, Wolves have tumbled down the tower, but look at this. Look how close it is now. We did say it was going to be one of a few, but Leeds are probably top of the tree. They've won 3 of the last 5, so that's helped them out. Sunderland's still in the relegation zone. They've only won 2 games since. Burnley are there as well. Who's gone to Burnley? Javi Gracia. Okay, interesting. So Javi Gracia's took that job. None of our other 2 managers, they're still there, aren't they? Big Pep's there. Ooh. They've just beat Sunderland. Oh, Arne Slot. Yeah, that's a problem for Sunderland. I know it's away from home, but again, Leeds got a point away at Sunderland. They've got the win, and had Sunderland got that, all of a sudden, they're out the bottom 3. That's one of the games they really have to win, don't they? They've got Coventry in the Cup. They're still in the FA Cup. Feels like at this point that might be a bit of a distraction for them. Leeds are still in the FA Cup, but they've got Chelsea. I think was it Coventry that Sunderland have got? But Leeds have got Chelsea, so you'd back them to go out. Burnley are still in. They've got Birmingham, so they're still distracted somewhat by the FA Cup. A decent draw against Everton away from home. None of them are getting cut adrift. Crystal Palace are starting to struggle. Gareth Southgate's still there at Palace. It looks like Palace could be one that go down, so it doesn't look like all 3 are going to go at this point. I think Sunderland might go. They've been there pretty much throughout. Can we see I don't want to see the XG table, no. Yeah, the last 5 games, Sunderland have picked up 4. Leeds have picked up 10. That's big for them in the last 5 matches. Can we see a Premier League glide path? We've seen this in the past, but it doesn't seem like that's there anymore. By the way, Arsenal are romping to this title. Oliver Glasner's going to win the Premier League. Fair dues to him. And Palace are going to go down in last. That's quite fitting, isn't it? So we're going to probably have to go in smaller increments here to get to the end of the season. Let's see what happens in a couple of games' time. Brentford have climbed their way out the bottom 3 now. 31 games played, 7 to go. Sunderland are still there. Burnley are there now. Leeds getting ever closer. Wolves have had an absolutely tragic second half of the season. Yeah, there you go. 9 points in the last 12 games. The start of the season, they had 22. Oh dear. So Wolves have really capitulated, haven't they? But Leeds have been pretty strong. I think Leeds might stay up here, you know. They've got enough about them to go and win games. Sunderland have only won 6 all season. That's the big problem. How are they getting on in the Cup? Sunderland are still there. They've beaten Wickham. What about Burnley? Are Burnley gone? Burnley have gone. They lost to Liverpool. And Leeds, they're out the Cup as well. They lost to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace still in the Cup. I mean, they're still in the Conference League. Could Crystal Palace do the Cup double and still get relegated? Well, we've gone forward a few weeks again, and it's a big day. Arne Slot faces his former side, Liverpool, in the semi-final of the FA Cup. Unfortunately, Crystal Palace are not going to hold the FA Cup. They've gone out to Man City. Let's quickly have a look at them. They're still in the Conference League against Fiorentina. Is that now the semi-finals as well? It is. So Palace could be in the Europa League and be in the Championship. Remember when Birmingham did that? Have they pulled back? Have they got any chance of staying up? Not really. They're 9 points adrift. Sunderland are quite adrift. Where are Burnley? They're still there. 1 point away. Leeds have got themselves a decent cushion. Burnley have still got to play. They've got a game in hand, but it looks like that's against Man City. So let's write that off. So Leeds are 5 points clear with a better goal difference. So effectively 6 points clear with 4 to play. So I think Leeds have stayed up. Burnley, they're in there. Sunderland are a bit adrift, I have to say. 4 defeats again in 5. But they're still in the FA Cup. And I think that's probably what's keeping Arne in a job. Need to win against Liverpool or he is out. Let's see how he gets on. Oh, it's come up straight on our homepage. Liverpool have eased to victory. Wasn't even close. 3-0 against Sunderland. Well, you wouldn't have expected them to be fair, but it is rather fitting, I suppose, that Arne Slot has lost to his former team. So has he got the sack? No, he hasn't got the sack. So the last 4 games of the season for Sunderland. Wolves away, Man United at home, Everton away, Chelsea at home. Surely you can rule out Man United and Chelsea. Everton and Wolves away. Are Wolves fighting for their lives as well? Yeah, they are. I think Sunderland might really struggle. Burnley, Man City at home. Again, 3 out of the 4 you wouldn't fancy Burnley in, to be fair. Leeds away, though. Leeds are safe. Pretty well, I think, at this point. So that could be one. Who's going to stay up? I think Sunderland might go. But if Burnley can stay up as well, considering it was looking like it could have been the other 2 at the start of the season, it's been quite a shame how Sunderland have not plummeted down the table. I mean, if we look at the first half of the season, 17 points. But I think this is the form book. I think they'd got 17 in the first 15. And then after that, so what's that? 11 points in 5... 11 points in 20. Yeah, that's not promotion. That's not staying in the Premier League form, is it? Well, Palace have pretty much gone. Palace have got Bournemouth, Everton. Yeah, Palace are gone. Well, it's only a draw for Sunderland, and at this point, that's not really enough. They're 4 points adrift. Burnley in their games, they've got a draw against Man City. I mean, at this point, it gets really scrappy, and 3 draws in a row. And to be fair, I know we said Leeds could have been an opportunity, but Forest away, Man City at home. To get 3 points out of those 3 games is a good job done. How did Leeds get on? They've, again, drawn again. They drew against Bournemouth. I think we saw that before this last game. But Sunderland, again, only really competing, not bettering their opponents. Palace are all but gone. They're surviving just about by goal difference. I think Sunderland might be the next ones to go. Well, we'll quickly gloss over the fact that Liverpool lost the FA Cup final. But in the Premier League, Arsenal have... Well, if Arsenal win the next game, they've won the Premiership. Sunderland are still there. Palace are down. Sunderland then drew their last game, didn't they? Yeah, they drew at home against Man United, fair enough. But they need 2 wins, don't they? At least they need a win and a draw. And that's to make sure that Wolves go. They've got Fulham and they've got to play Burnley. Oh, that last game could be brilliant. Wolves-Burnley to decide who goes down. Leeds, at this point, are pretty well safe. They lost to Spurs in their last game, but they are pretty well safe. So Sunderland pretty much need a win in their next match. They've got Everton away. What's Everton's form like? Not great. Not great. They've won the last match away from home against Crystal Palace, who are already down. Could be an opportunity, though. Again, almost fitting for Sunderland that it's against Everton, a rival of Liverpool, where Arne Slot's dream of keeping Sunderland up could all come crashing down. Well, it didn't happen for Sunderland. 3-1 against Everton. So are they down? Not quite. And crucially, they know that if it's a draw, they're down. Wolves have got to play Burnley, remember. If it's a draw, they're down. But if one of these sides wins and Sunderland pick up an unlikely win against Chelsea, they could escape on the final day. Leeds are safe. That's a good job from Leeds. So Pep Guardiola has led them to safety. Arsenal have won the Premier League, so Oliver Glasner has done a brilliant job at Arsenal. Man United, another woeful season for them, by all accounts, in the bottom half by the looks of it. So let's play through, shall we? Let's continue for the first time. And that's, see how quick that is. That's so impressive. So, there's no jobs that have been booted out yet. Coventry are in the Premier League. That's good for them. Ready? Sunderland lost. So, Sunderland are down. I'm not looking at this left-hand side. Sunderland are down. But Arne Slot's been sacked. What about Wolves and Burnley? That was a draw. So Burnley have gone as well. But of course, that wasn't the half the charm of it, was that it was supposed to be one of our managers. Javi Gracia has kept his job. A draw on the final day with Wolves wasn't enough. I mean, Wolves have survived by the skin of their teeth. A single goal. And that turning point, I think you can say, might well have been the Sunderland and Leeds fixture. But Sunderland have gone down. 6 wins in the season. Never really recovered after, I'll remind you again, a good early start. 17 points in the early phase of the season. 17 points out of their first 19, then only 13 points out of the next. That is relegation form. And unfortunately, that has seen Arne Slot get the sack. So, of our 3 clubs, 2 of them have been relegated. Leeds have stopped up. Burnley, of course, had a new manager in Javi Gracia, so that's ended the experiment to a degree with Burnley. Villa have done decently under Mikel Arteta. Then in terms of the top clubs, it's about maybe what you might expect this season. Arsenal have won the league under Oliver Glasner, and his reputation has, I'm sure, gone through the roof again. Their only trophy was the Premier League. Did Crystal Palace get to the final of the Conference League? They're still in it. So we could have Crystal Palace playing European football. 3 wins in a season. I didn't notice that. Did Palace only win? Yeah, got 3 times. It's not showing what games they've won or drawn. Don't know why. 15 draw. I mean, that 3 wins in a season. No wonder they went down. I want to see if Palace get into the Europa League. That could be good fun. Sunderland and Burnley relegated though, and Pep Guardiola keeps his job at Leeds. Is that his best achievement? Possibly not his best ever, but a good achievement nevertheless. So for Southgate, it's win or possibly get the sack. So let's play through until that Europa Conference League final. And he's been sacked. So that probably means that they lost the Conference League final. They did. Who are these geezers? Basaksehir. Nuri Sahin is their manager. And they lost 2-1 in the Conference League final. So a disaster of a season all round for Palace. But that is where our experiment is going to end, I think. Burnley and Sunderland relegated. Leeds have survived. Well, I have to say I really enjoyed going through that Premier League season. A little bit disappointing as a Liverpool fan that Arne Slot got the sack from Sunderland. But 2 of our 3 clubs got relegated. Did you predict that down in the comments? I'd have probably gone for at least 1. Leeds, I guess, probably is the most likely to stop up if you look at before the season. Sunderland have had a good start, so they might well stop up. But Sunderland and Burnley in this game have both got relegated. But who saw Crystal Palace coming? Oliver Glasner jumped out of that ship and has gone to Arsenal and won the Premier League. If you'd like to see more like this in the future, let me know down in the comments. As I say, I've really enjoyed looking at this season in Football Manager 26. As I've said, if you want to see more, let me know down below. Leave a like, comment, share, all that good stuff, and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye for now.